I think he marks while he cooks turkey.
Well, someday.
Think he cooks a turkey?
Okay. You discredit my wife skills. I got awesome. And then I can cook turkey if I had to. Okay.
That's why you got a wife though.
Alright, so how do I find R?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Exactly, right? So when I look at this the way it's set up, if x and y is here, that's x, because that's that distance this way, and this is y, that's the distance up, right? So you've got x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Fair enough? Okay. Then it says determine the missing y coordinate for each point on the unit circle. All right, so as soon as they have identified that it's a unit circle, the unit circle is 1. All right, as the radius. So it gives us a coordinate in quadrant 2. All right, the coordinate is -4/5 and y, and this unit here is 1. So that means then that my x value down here is -4/5. My y value is this guy right here. So using Pythagoras' theorem, right? I've got -4/5 squared plus y squared is equal to 1 squared. Correct? No problems there, right? Okay. Y squared is equal to 1 minus 16/25. Y squared is equal to 9/25. Y is equal to 3/5. Now, I have to have a plus minus on that. Okay? So here's the thing for your exam. This is what you need to know. If you draw the picture, which I suggest you do each time, and you draw it so that we can clearly see that it's in the second quadrant, that means then that y is positive in that quadrant. So if I don't show the plus minus here, and I just show y is equal to 3/5, I get it right. If I do this work right here, without this, and I don't show the plus minus 3/5, I'm going to lose a half a mark on it. Because you haven't identified that it's got to be plus in the second quadrant, because that's where it's stated it was. Make sense? So when you do these questions, always draw in your quadrants the correct graph. Okay? And it just eliminates any chance of error. Alright? Any questions about that so far? Okay, the second one says the next coordinate is 3/10 and y in quadrant 4. So I draw it in quadrant 4. Okay? Don't know what y is. This coordinate is 3/10, and do the same thing. So I have 3/10 squared, 9/100, plus y squared is equal to 1. Y squared is equal to 91/100. I'll subtract it over, right? Y is equal to square root of 91/10. That's 100/100, right? So when I subtract that over, I get 91/100. Everybody follow the math on that? Fractions, I know. 8 fractions, blue. Fractions, yeah. Right? Okay, so square root of 91/100. And again, because we are specifying exact values, you do not take the square root, you do not use your calculator for this. You need to leave these things as square roots. You need to leave these things with pi values in them. You are only working with exact values. Fair enough? Okay? All right, so here's where we start getting into the important stuff. Determine the coordinates of all points on the unit circle for which the reference angle is pi/6. All right. First thing I'm going to do is draw it in the first quadrant because that's the true reference angle. So that value right there is pi over 6 radians. All right, here's where we have to get, this is where we need to now start focusing on the importance of remembering this triangle. Pi over 6 is how many degrees?
30.
It's 30 degrees, correct? So then that means then that is 1 over 2. Agreed? Yeah? Okay? And then this would be root 3. Right? If that was a 30-degree triangle I was talking about. But what is the actual values of this coordinate here? Well, I don't do it like this on this triangle. Because we are talking about all of them on the unit circle, which means then that value has to be 1. So I can't do it that way. So what do I do? Well, the sine is the sine of pi over 6 is this value y over 1, correct? And the cos value of pi over 6 would be x over 1. Agreed? So I have sine of my angle theta is equal to y over 1. Cos of my angle theta is equal to x over 1. Everybody agree with that so far? Okay, if this angle is theta, not pi over 6, we agree? Okay, this is hugely important to you. Hugely important to you. Because this coordinate is x, y, right? That means then that coordinate is cos theta, sine theta. And this is what I tried to explain to you yesterday. That the cos of any reference angle is your x value of the coordinate on the unit circle. And the sine of any y value is the y value. The sine of any angle is the y value on the unit circle. So, with that in mind then, what is the cos of 30 degrees?
Root 3 over 2.
Root 3 over 2. Okay? Not sure? Then I do this. Okay? That's 1. That's 2. Right. That's 1 over 2 and root 3. So the cos of 30 degrees, root 3 over 2. Sine of 30 degrees, well, the sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. So what is the coordinate of pi over 6 then?
Root 3 over 2.
Root 3 over 2 and 1/2. That's this coordinate right here. Okay? So as long as the reference angle stays as pi over 6, all of the values around that circle are going to remain the same, except for what? Okay, so I draw that out this way. This is pi over 6. This coordinate right now is root 3 over 2 and 1/2. Right? I draw it up this way. Okay? This is still pi over 6 right here. So, what is that coordinate?
Negative root 3 over 2.
Because the x value is negative over here, it's negative root 3 over 2.5. It doesn't change. Because the reference angle is still the same. What is it down here? Negative root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. Right? And then down here, root 3 over 2 minus 1/2. Okay? So far okay? Again, all of this was done last year. We did this last year. All right, so far? Now I want to show you one other thing. Do you guys remember this? Cast. Do you remember what that means?
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean?
A means all values are positive, S means only the sign value is positive, T means tan is positive, C means cos is positive.
Very good, Cody. Well done. Cos is positive down here. X value is positive. Sine and cos are both positive up there. So is tan, because tan is opposite over adjacent. Well, let's go back up here. We said that the sine of pi over 6 was y over 1, and the cos was x over 1. What is the tan?
Y over X.
What is it?
Y over X.
It's y over x, right? Which means sine over cos. So when I take this divided by this, sine's positive, tan and cos aren't. Down here, I have a negative over a negative, sine over cos, right? Negative divided by negative is positive, therefore tan is positive in this quadrant. So that's what that meant there. Okay? Cos, all, sine, tan. Cast. All right, so far?